Hey folks, welcome to my channel number 10. So there we have the problem on our screen. Differentiate the following: y equals t minus 1 by t the whole power 3 by 2, right? So an approach to this problem would be, can I make a substitution that will reduce y to a function whose derivative I'm quite familiar with from first principles, right? So I have a y equals t minus 1 by t the whole power 3 by 2, right? So what is that substitution I'll have to make? So the substitution I'll have to make and represent y in terms of u would be t minus 1 by t equals u, right? So in this particular case, the independent variable is not x. Remember, it is t. So my u is nothing but t minus 1 by t, right? Because when I do this particular substitution, what happens to my y? My y becomes independent of t, and at the same time it reduces to a function of the type y equals u to the power 3 by 2, whose derivative I'm quite familiar with, right? So now my y in terms of u is y equals u to the power 3 by 2, which means my dy by du is 3 by 2 times 3 by 2 times u to the power 3 by 2 minus 1, right? I apply the formula d by dx of x to the power n equals nx to the power n minus 1, right? So my dy by du becomes equals 3 by 2 times u to the power 3 by 2 minus 1, which is nothing but 3 by 2 into u to the power half, right? Let's park this aside and let's go back to our u expression and arrive at what is my du by dt. And why am I doing du by dt here? Because I believe that this problem can be solved using the chain rule. And what is that chain rule? We will come to that in the subsequent step once we complete our du by dt. My du by dt is d by dt of t minus 1 by t, right? And what is my du by dt of t minus 1 by t? I apply the sum rule here. So my d by dt of t is 1, and my and what is my d by dt of uh, minus 1 by t, or plus 1 by t, right? So my d by dt of plus 1 by t will be minus 1 divided by t square, right? And I'm again doing an application of nothing but d by dx of x to the power n equals x to the power n minus 1 into n, right? And what is my n here? My n is equal to minus 1, right? So what do I get? My minus 1 divided by t square. And then my minus and minus will get cancelled. So here I have a plus, right? So my du by dt is 1 plus t square. My dy by du is 3 by 2 times square root of u, right? So let me highlight the two expressions before we go ahead and apply the chain rule. My dy by du in green and my du by dt in yellow, right? Now what does my chain rule state? My chain rule states my dy by dx. My dy by dx equals dy by du into du by dt. And what is my dy by du? My dy by du is 3 by 2 times square root of u, right? Because u to the power half is nothing but square root of u. So let me write that. And then I have my 1 plus t square. And how do I write it? Now I know that my final answer when I've been asked to find, I'm sorry, this is not dy by dx, this is dy by dt. My final answer when I've been asked to find dy by dt, t being an independent variable, has to be expressed in the form of t. So I will have to go back and replace u in terms of t, right? Yeah. and go back and do the substitution of u from this particular step from where I started off to solve the problem. So I have 3 by 2 into square root of t minus 1 by t, right? And then I have my 1 plus t square. So that's my final answer. 3 by 2 times square root of t minus 1 by t into 1 plus 1 by t square will be my final answer for this particular problem. I hope you found this content useful. Please do subscribe to my channel and support. Thank you.